I am here to show you how to turn a not very pretty wood building into a quaint shingle cottage. This building started out with T111 siding and in a couple of months was transformed into an eye-catching beauty. Since it is an old cottage, we chose old-fashioned cedar shingles, commonly called grade C. We plan not to finish these and let them weather naturally. The grade C shingles only cost about 1/5 as much as the grade A clear primed shingles. You also want to use stainless steel ring shank nails. They're at least 1.5 inches long, so they'll hold the shingles tightly to the subsiding. It is recommended you cover the outside wall with felt paper before you apply the shingles. We wanted a 5-inch exposure showing, since that is typical for the traditional old-fashioned shingle buildings. As far as equipment and tools, ladders, scaffolding, anytime you get off the ground, you have the potential for disaster. You have multiple slipping points with your feet, the ladder on the building, not to mention working with your hands. So it's difficult to keep them on the ladder where they belong. You have a high center of gravity, and you and the ladder and the scaffolding relies on planks, which can always break or mysteriously not be there when you attempt to step on them. A sharp utility knife is a tool of choice for cutting shingles 99% of the time. It's also capable of slicing a deep gash into a finger or cutting it clean off. A hammer capable of bludgeoning a thumb. At 3,000 RPMs, power drill is capable of spinning a drill bit through your thumb in a fraction of a second. None of the old-timers think very much of power nailers or power staples, and they think the hand nailing works a lot better. Always apply shingles when dry. Cedar is a rot-resistant wood, but you don't want moisture locked into the layers. The bottom course gets a double layer of shingles. The lower layer is a good place to use shingles that may not be good enough for the top layer. That is, they may have loose knots or not be up to your standards to show on top. Don't have the seam of the top shingle within a half inch of the next seam on the side shingle. Knots are knotty. Try to avoid cutting or nailing into them, and don't have knotty shingles on the outside showing unless the knots are solid. If you're using 5-inch courses, make sure you nail them over 5 inches from the bottom edge of the shingle. A trick to keep a straight line edge is to screw or nail a straight board onto the wall 5 inches from the bottom edge. This will allow you to rest the shingles on top of the board, and the bottom edge will be straight, even though the sides are not square and may have small gaps. Make sure at doors and windows you overlap and use caulking before and after you apply them, so you won't have water finding cracks behind the siding. On scallop detail, you can use an old can to make rounded edges and cut them with a jigsaw to give some detail if you want. Applying cedar shingles by hand is a slow process. It involves physical fatigue and mental fatigue because some concentration is required. Remember to follow safety precautions and think before you do everything. And remember, measure twice, cut once. Shop around. Prices vary widely, and I found Mabec shingles were the best.